What's going on, guys? It is Takeo White here for Team Cardfighters United, and today I'm coming to you with a deck profile for my Seekers. This is the first deck that I've ever actually completed because, let's be real, everybody broke these days, so it happens. But I've played for these for about a year, and they just now got completed. Except for the G-Zone, but we don't. Well, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. It'll be okay. But going with my starter is, as is probably obvious in the playing Seekers, Advanced Party Seeker File. Now, the skill of File is when you Legion, you can move into Soul to call a Blaster Blade. Just Spirit Call a Blaster Blade from your deck to rear, so you know. Just easy Blaster Blade to get out. Helps the deck since there's a couple cards that work with Blaster Blade well. You know, Blaster Blade is just a pretty good rear guard in general. So it's a really good card just to basically guarantee yourself that Blaster Blade rear guard once you hit Legion. Okay, now set up the grade 3s. We have 2 Alfred Exiv, which you have seen me pull in each of my different box openings for the set I've done on this channel. But his skill is he can Legion with Blaster Blade or Blaster Blade Seeker. The reason you might want to run Blaster Blade, even though Blaster Blade has the extra cost, is that Blaster Blade skill can go off and placed on Vanguard, so when you Legion, you can counterblast 2 to retire a rear guard of an opponent. But I use Blaster Blade Seeker just because I like to keep all the stuff Seekers, because his other effect is he gets plus 1,000 power for every Seeker rear guard on your field. So when you have a full field with the Blaster Blade Legion, that's an extra 6,000 power, and he gets a crit for having 5 rear guards. His secondary effect, which is to help set up that field, set up that perfect Alfred field, you know, to finish off games with the extra crit and all that power, is Counterblast 2 to Superior Call a Seeker from your deck. So it's really really easy with a lot of these cards to completely set up your field and go ham with that Alfred skill. So I run 2 of him, not by choice because I'm poor. But instead of running the other 2 Alfreds that would cost several monies to obtain, I have 2 Seeker Sacred Wingle. Seeker Sacred Wingle's skill is Legions with Blaster Blade Seeker, just like Alfred, except his skill is when you Legion, you can search your deck for a grade 2 or less, or it's grade 2 or greater, my bad, card with Seeker in the card name, call it a rear, shuffle your deck. Which is a really good rear guard in my really good Vanguard in my opinion, just because of the fact that you can go on there, Legion, free call with no cost, and you can use File skill to get the Blaster Blades. You can still set up your field pretty well, especially with a couple of the grade 2s that I have. So he definitely still works well with the Seekers, and he gets plus when he's on Vanguard and he attacks, he gets the extra 2k. So it's not much of a difference, but you know, every bit of power counts. Now into the last grade 3, we run 4 Seeker Lightsaber Dragon. Seeker Lightsaber Dragon Legions with Seeker Light Blaze Dragon, and his skill is Counterblast 2 cards with Seeker in his card name to basically just Soul Saver. So when he Legions, you Counterblast, or while he's in Legion, you can Counterblast 2 to get plus 5,000 to 3 of your units. You can only use it once per turn, but still, I mean, that's a lot of power. You can give an extra 5k to every column, or a 10k to one of your columns. You can give the power to the Vanguard if you want to. So a lot of possibilities with that skill. Plus, he has an on-hit of whenever he hits, you can Superior Call a Seeker to your rear guard. So there's a lot of stuff that can go down. Especially, basically, what this card is for is I use him to set up for my Alfred field. He gives a lot of power, so I can push their damage a lot with that huge field. Plus, when he does hit, I can Superior Call to help me set up my field even more. So the push with that is just way too good to pass up. And that is all of my grade 3s. Now we're going to move on to the grade 2s of the deck. We have 3 Blaster Blade Seeker. Blaster Blade Seeker's skill is Counterblast 1. When it's placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Seeker in the card name, you can retire one of your opponent's grade 2 or greater rear guards. He is the Legion mate for both Wingull and Alfred. He's also the Legion mate for he who shall not be named, but I'm going to name him anyway for the sake of this deck profile, Saber Dragon. Saber Dragon is a really good card. I hate Saber Dragon with a burning passion for no other reason, to be completely honest. So when you yell at me, just know I don't care. But yeah, he's definitely a good card and is very viable. I just prefer to run my deck like this. And on to the next grade 2, we have 2 copies of what little support Seekers have gotten since the G era. 2 Seeker Proud Roar Lion. Proud Roar Lion's skill is on Vanguard or Rearguard. When his attack hits a Vanguard and you have a Seeker Vanguard, you can flip a card in your damage zone and give a unit plus 2,000 power. So, you know, just easy unflipping when he hits. Plus, you can add some power to other units, you know, to strengthen up your maybe early game rush or anything like that. So, yeah, it's just a pretty good card to use. Basically, you can, on your grade 2 turn, if you feel like rushing a little bit, you can ride a grade 2, call a Blaster Blade Seeker and him, Blaster Blade Seeker skill to get rid of one of their rear guards, and if Proud Roar hits, you can give +2 to the Blaster Blade to make him hit harder and get that, and countercharge that damage that you had flipped earlier. So, you know, make it seem like you never even had to use the skill, so it's pretty good. Next, a very important piece of the deck is Great Crossbow Seeker Gildas. Gildas is one of my favorite cards in the deck because when he's on Rearguard, when your Vanguard Legions, you can counterblast 1 to search your deck for a Rearguard, or search your deck for a Seeker and call it a Rear. So he basically goes, hey, let me let you completely set up your field. Because him combined with all the other skills in this deck are just saying, hey, you want that perfect Alfred field? I got you. And he's just probably one of the best cards in this deck. I really, really like it. And another important card of this deck is the Legion mate for Lightseeker, or Lightsaber. Light Blaze Dragon. Light Blaze Dragon's skill is whenever it hits a Vanguard, you can choose another one of your Seekers and give it plus 5,000 power. This is a Rearguard only skill, so you can't, you know, just have him on Vanguard, and because a lot of times he won't guard the Vanguard early game, so you can't just hit with that and then give it to your Rearguard. It doesn't work like that. He has to be a Rearguard for that skill to go off. But that's definitely really good, because if they can't guard that attack, then if they can't guard the attack from Light Blaze, and it hits, you give the power to your other Rearguard, and it'll give them +5. So even if they do get a trigger from Light Blaze Dragon's attack, your other Rearguard will still have the ability to hit your opponent, which is very good. And that is all of my grade 2s. Go ahead and move that up here. Now we move on to the grade 1s. The first grade 1 we're going to talk about is Flail Seeker Izzbuzzard. Izzbuzzard is a really good Rearguard to call, because with his skill, whenever your Vanguard's in Legion and he's called to Rearguard, you get +4. So basically, he's just a 7k base normally, but when you call him and you're in Legion, he becomes an 11k. So a really good booster. And if you're on Lightsaber, and call him, and then use all those power skills, you're going to be hitting for some really big columns. And it's going to push your opponent, and they're going to lose hand and take a good bit of damage at the same time. So I really like that card to help you for that final push, and he's really good on your Alfred turn. Then I run 2 of Gringle Seeker. Gringle Seeker's skill is when an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle, this unit boosted a Blaster Blade Seeker. In the same column as this unit, you can pay the cost, which is put a K card, put it at the bottom of your deck, to draw a card and choose a card in your damage zone and flip face up. So another way to unflip that Blaster Blade damage, and plus milling out or taking a card from your hand, maybe a trigger, putting it back into your deck, and drawing a new card. And then the next card is a 4 of, which is Honest Seeker Cynric. Cynric is just the 10k attacker for Seekers. So, you know, when he attacks, if you have a Seeker Vanguard, he gets +10. That's all there is to that. Then I run 1 of Seeker Plume Wall Angel. Plume Wall Angel is the Seeker Quintet Wall, so when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, counterblast 1 to superior call the top 5 cards from your deck to your Guardian Circle at rest. So, you know, I'm running it mostly to, if I don't think I'm going to have enough cards for Legion, I drop this turn before, counterblast. Hey look, 6 cards in my drop. Instant Legion. Or if I feel like I'm going to be Legioning a lot that game and want to go ahead and set up my drop zone to prepare for that, again, drop it. That's 6 cards in your drop. That's almost 2 legions. So yeah, it's definitely a good call in my opinion. A lot of people don't like Quintet Walls, but I like running it at 1, at least for this deck. And then 3 of the Seeker Perfect Guard, Defending Seeker Sheeran. Sheeran's skill, and just drop a card to Perfect Guard it. But he is one of the older Perfect Guards, so you can guard a rear guard with him. And then the Beast himself, the true champion of this deck. Seeker, Runa Eagle. I know what you're thinking. It's the 10k Vanguard booster. Why in God's name would I run this? And the answer may surprise you. I took this card out of the deck, and the deck wouldn't win. It stopped winning. Put it back in, I went on a 10-game win streak. So, Runa Eagle is, I guess you could say, my avatar of this deck, just because apparently it makes me win games. It's not a bad card at all, because so you have your file behind your Vanguard, you Legion, file goes to Soul. So you're Legioning with Wingle, Wingle skill, Superior Call, or not Wingle's, Gilda's skill, Gildas on the side. Superior Call him, Wingle skill, get another rear guard. Hey, your Wingle has got a 30k power now. So yeah, definitely not a bad card at all. And that's going to be it for the grade 1s. Now, we're going to go in the trigger lineup. 4 heal. Seeker heals, obviously. 6 Seeker crit. 4 of the Seeker stand. Seeker Bouquet Paris. Bouquet Paris' skill is when an attack hits the Vanguard during the battle of this unit boosted, you can pay the cost of retiring him to Superior Call a grade 1 or less card at rest. So, another way to help you set up your field a little bit. It's just a good card overall. A lot of people tell me not to run the stands, but for one, stands, I enjoy running stands. I play my game based around running stands, and it just helps me a lot. And now, final card, I run 2 draw triggers. The reason I run 6 crit instead of 8 is because I was running 8, and someone suggested for me to run the draws, and the draws will help me out a lot because give me that little bit of extra guard power plus the extra card it gives me a lot helps when I do get them, which surprisingly, even though I'm only running 2, I end up getting my draw triggers often, and it just plays the deck pretty well. I'm going to try really soon to get a fight with this deck to show you guys exactly what I've been talking about in this video. Now, before we end it off, I need to show you the strides. Keep in mind, I am a poor man. Do not make fun of my strides, for I love my strides. My strides have done nothing wrong to deserve any kind of bad treatment. But these are more the cheaper strides, which the deck does not need strides to win at all. It does not. They are helpful. There are some strides that I will suggest after I show mine, just to tell you what would be probably the best stride lineup. I run 2 Shrouded Divine Knight Gablet, which is the trial deck stride, and he's just an on-hit Superior Call a rear guard, grade 2 or greater rear guard, rear deck. So yeah, he's not bad at all. And then 4 Great Sage of Contradiction, Jiren. Jiren's skill is to choose a card from your hand, Superior Call it, and give it +5. So you just extra 5k power. One of your columns is a little buffed up. So if you have a turn where you're not ready to Legion, so you just want to kind of hit a little hard and build up your hand with the triple drive, you would go into Jiren. And I also have Madu, because when you're in Legion, you can use your Legion mate as the main heart to pull off Madu to put your grade 3 back in your hand. So that free stride, it's never a bad idea to have it. And then Blizza, just to hit hard in case I'm at the end of the game, use a lot of my strides, I can just pull him out and smash just everyone's face. But also, this is the never gonna hit stride. He's there to not hit. But the other strides you can run that work really well with this deck are Seeker, not Seeker, he's not a Seeker, he should be a Seeker, but Sable Dragon. Sable Dragon is the same as Alfred Exiv, basically, except he gets 3,000 for every, I think it's 3. 3,000 for every rear guard, and if you have 2 or more, he gets a crit. So he hits hard. And the other card is, this is just for Alfred, which would be Holy Squire Dragon. Holy Squire Dragon's skill is to... He's going to hit really hard because of the fact that he gains 3, just like Saint Blow, for all your rear guards, and all your rear guards get +2, so he just, pump up your field a little bit, so you're going to hit hard. Also, if you're playing against Link Joker, this is, because Link Joker's annoying. I mean, I love Link Joker, it's my first clan, but Link Joker's annoying, let's be honest here. And his other skill is to unlock all your locked units, so it's a little bit of a really rude thing to do to the Link Joker players, but it'll be okay. So that was it for this deck profile, guys. We're going to be having a lot more coming very soon, and I just got a tripod, if you could tell by how different my video's looking today. So I'm going to be able to post a lot more content, and we are trying really hard to improve the content of this channel, so if you have any suggestions or anything you would like to see, just let us know down in the comments below. I'm going to try to see if I can get some fights recorded soon. I'll have another deck and a box opening of something coming very soon, guys. So this has been Takeo White for Team Card Fighters United. Remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And remember, meta is disgusting.